for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to it. Happy Wednesday. Yes, it is a Wednesday here on the Block. Thanks for tuning in to the show. I'm Austin. He's Strick, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA veteran. It is hot outside.
That it is, Austin.
About to get hot on the block too.
It is very hot. It's hot on the block. It's a great start. Hot in recruiting, hot in the play-in tournament. Hot. It's a little bit of hot everywhere, but it's definitely hot in Nebraska, which is lovely for me. Got these shorts on, so I've been waiting to pull out these shorts and just start wearing them and feeling good about the sun. Just hitting on my body. I got a good start to it too. That's why I went down into the waters of the Gulf to do that.
Yes, sir.
And just breed a good light on. Hopefully, no more. Just don't have the schizophrenic stuff happen. I just don't want that. Where you're like all feeling great about it, the change and the spring is here, and then all of a sudden a blizzard drops on you in the middle of April and May. I don't want any of that. Keep that.
It's not going to be 80s forever, but as long as it doesn't go back to 40s, I think we'll survive.
I'm okay with 50s and 60s. Stay there.
Please do. Also, where you should stay, Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Mary Ellen's. Yes. I wish I could eat on it, but I'm really working on this hot summer bod, and I can't eat it. But my issue is when I go in there, I don't stop. It's the same thing. I have the feeling when people ask me, they're like, Strick, why don't you play ball anymore? Like, do you still hoop? And I'd be like, nope. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because I'm that guy that feels I got to go 100 miles an hour and my body says no. My mind is telling me yes. And so I end up hurting myself and doing more damage than
you can't have that.
I can't have that. No.
Plain and simple. Lots coming up for you on the show here today. Talk some Nebraska basketball here. This first segment, some college basketball headlines as well. A couple good guests, Steve Sipple to talk Husker football and some college football writ large as well. Evan Bland will talk Husker baseball at 3:30. And then in the 3 o'clock hour, to start it off, yesterday we talked about who did switching teams help out? Who are the pro athletes that, got better once they switched teams? We're taking a little different direction. Which pro athletes, specifically pro, looked weird in a different uniform? You associate them with one team, they switch teams. It's just wrong. They look weird in a different uniform. Save those thoughts. We'll get into that in the 3 o'clock hour. 402-464-5685. Text or call if you want to get into the show. The big news today on the Nebraska basketball front, Strick, Nebraska basketball adds a post, a 6'9" player. Rink Mast is his name, transferred from Bradley, averaged about 14 points and 8 rebounds last year, and a little bit stretchy. Shot 35% from three, 74% from the free throw line. Your early thoughts on this addition for the Huskers?
Well, one of the things is 6'9", got good size, good body. He's not super athletic. That was something that I was hoping that we would be able to get. I mean, even Derek Walker and what he brought, he wasn't super athletic. So maybe they feel that that's a solid mold for him. But what I like about the young man is he gets a couple offensive rebounds. That could change, though. I mean, you're looking at more size, more, guys that are super athletic. He gets a couple offensive rebounds a game and on average. But what I like about him, though, is, like you said, he can stretch the floor. That's one thing that, right now at this point, Nebraska, you can't count on any of them having. Why Breidenbach is very inconsistent in it. I hope he gets better. Blaze has probably 15 to 17 foot range, hasn't been able to show that at that point. But to get a guy that can stretch the floor like that, that can open up, with the style of play that Nebraska plays, that, the motion with, a lot of cutting, a lot of screening, big man's on the outside. So those are some of the things that I do like about him. Averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds. So, he's capable. But what I will say, the non-athleticism is something that worries me.
Okay.
But I will say I like his footwork. I got a chance to, watch a little bit of his film, and he's got good footwork, meaning he's very fundamentally sound. He knows how to leverage. He knows how to work off ball. He knows how to set screens and roll right and correctly. He knows how to get to the right spot. His counters are pretty solid with his footwork. He's on balance, so a lot of those things that I got to see, I like that part of him. But so I can't say yet whether or not it's a great move, but it's one for him being from the Netherlands. He, definitely has overseas European. He could be that type of player, definitely, but he has aspirations to play in the league. So that's why I believe that he's staying. And the other thing that I love is that he's saying, it's not about NIL or anything like that. He just wants to get and see better competition and see where he stands or he fits in the midst of whatever his dreams may be at the next level. So I like that.
What are some of those actions that open up for Nebraska with a big man that can stretch the floor a little bit? How does that change the offense?
I mean, the offense is pretty much, as far as I can see, with the teams that they got coming back, with the roster that they have, it seems pretty much the same. And you can see that at an instance, if you're going to try to play two big men together, whether that be Keita and Mast or so forth, or Keita and Breidenbach, you're going to want one of those guys that can be a stretch situation. Now, look, Hunter Dickinson is that too. So he's a guy that can definitely stretch you out there. To have that is of value, but their open free flow offense is going to provide opportunities for that. But it's also going to move guys like Zach Edey and the likes of them who like to stay around the paint. You saw that was the formula for beating, Purdue, is guys that is consistent. That's why Nebraska had success against them, outside of Derek Walker being able to attack downhill. So you've got a lot of guys that are spread out, but the more consistent that you can stretch them and be able to hit shots, you have a better chance at guys in the Big Ten.
So Mast will have 2 years of eligibility remaining for Nebraska. He had a medical redshirt his first season. He played 3. Since he does have that COVID year available still, he does have 2 years of eligibility. We'll see if he uses them or not. The guy he's replacing, Derek Walker, gets an invitation to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. And Strick, that's kind of a big deal. It's happened to a few Husker players recently. So since 2016, it's been Siobhan Shields, Ty Webster, James Palmer Jr., and Alonzo Verge. And they join you.
Yeah. I got a chance to go down to Portsmouth. Portsmouth is it's a secondary offering. It's one that there are definitely scouts down there. You're definitely gonna be seen. It's not like the Combine, or it's not like Chicago, right, which happens after that. But the thing is that they usually will invite the top 4 or 5 players out of Portsmouth and send them to Chicago to give them another look. Unfortunately, I was sick.
Oh shoot.
It was crazy. I was not feeling very well, and so the story of my Portsmouth my time at Portsmouth was not very good. But I was throwing up blood. It was the worst feeling, but I scrapped and I played my butt off. I just hustled. I knew I just didn't have everything with me during that, but I just played my butt off. And it was one guy. His name was Ron Aker. I don't know if he's still living, but he was the head scout for the Dallas Mavericks. He happened to be in the stands. It wasn't anything that I did. And this is why I tell guys about, the NBA in all ways is not about how much you can score and what you can do and all of that. Sometimes it's about some tangibles. Do you fit? do you have heart? Do you have, will to never give up or give in? I mean, there's other things that come with it. And he saw it. And then that's where I got an offer to go to veteran camp. And Ron Aker, that was the guy. One guy that saw me. So there's an opportunity. It only takes one. And that's the thing, like even in some short conversations with Bryce or Trey, I'm telling them, like, listen, understand that you're not just playing for the team you're playing for. When you go to summer league or when you go, you're playing for 32. There's other people, other teams that are also watching you. So don't ever feel that you have to what you're looking at on a specific team. Because on that Dallas Mavericks team, I had one question, Austin. Mm-hmm. I asked him one question. I said, listen, do I have a chance to make this team? He said, we have new ownership. We have a new coach. And there's nothing guaranteed on anybody on it. Because the roster was full. Mm-hmm. At the time, you could have 12 plus 3, which you could have on the injured reserve, so forth and so on. Mm-hmm. It was a way of circumventing, basically being able to have extra people on the team. Mm-hmm. And so they would just say, you had some type of injury and they keep you on, right? Mavericks was full. So if you looked at it from that standpoint, I didn't have a chance of making the team. Mm-hmm. So Portsmouth set it up. The situation presented itself. And it was up to me to go in and earn it and take it. And listen, the blessing on that was Ross Perot Jr. was the owner. Ross Perot Jr. was a military man. Mm-hmm. My dad was a military man. They got it down to sit down, so he understood the character of what he was getting. He 8 contracts, 3 of them, of almost $2 million. Woo. Then I don't know who does that. I don't know who just says, you know what, $2 million, boom, just throw it in the trash. Because that's what he had to do. He had to cut 3 guys at about almost $2 million, like $1.8 million in order to keep me. So I say to those guys, go down there, scrape, no matter how you feel, no matter what it looks like, you never know who's watching.
So on Derek Walker's team, a few names that we've heard before. Timmy Allen, brother of Teddy Allen. Mm-hmm. Timmy Allen from Texas. Tyree Appleby had a really good year 2 years ago for Wake Forest. Manny Bates from Butler. And Dane Goodwin from Notre Dame are the other, I think, notable names. These things, Strick, it worries me for Derek Walker's sake that he's a post. I feel like in these showcase events, guards want to get their shots up a lot of times.
Yeah.
How does Derek Walker stand out?
And that's the thing that most guards don't understand, especially at a Portsmouth, right? Mm-hmm. You're not Allen Iverson. You're not Kobe Bryant, right? If you
were, you wouldn't be here.
Right. So you're going down there to basically show how you can fit amongst an organization or a team, not what you can do, because you're not going to be able to go onto any team and you're going to get 20 shots a game. It's not going to happen unless injuries happen. There's like a whole treasure trove of things that have to happen in order for that to even, be in the hemisphere of you getting a chance to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. So the more that you can play winning type of basketball is what they're looking for. So Derek Walker, I think he has to show that he can shoot the ball. He's undersized, or he's got to be super Draymond Green type defense in order to show that there's some value. You got to find some intrinsic value to what a team would be able to need and be able to fit you into. You got to be able to shoot either well, you've got to be able to distribute off the chain, or you got to be able to be a defensive juggernaut. And that's what's one of the things that helped me.
Is there like an interview portion where you sit down with any teams at Portsmouth, or is it just the scouts that are there might come up, have a conversation?
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of got the scouts will come up, introduce themselves, hey, we'll be in touch, or, hey, we'll be talking to your agent, or blah, 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 stuff like that. They'll introduce themselves.
So I feel like that's a spot where Derek Walker could really shine, is if he gets a chance to sit down with teams and talk him through, his journey, really, starting at Tennessee through Nebraska to not playing the first part of this year, and then to being such an integral part of the team, despite, like we've talked about a lot of times, just how many skilled big men there were in the Big Ten. Derek Walker made some of them look silly.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, the league is so much different. There's guys that their timing, their blocks, you're just not going to be able to do that in the same manner that you've done it at the college level, because guys are just super athletic, fast, speed, all of that stuff changes, and guys can move their feet. So if you're not like, really skilled at being able to create space or opportunity, or, he can come in and just be a great screen setter. But I still think in the way that the league is built today, you've got to be able to shoot a little bit. Now you ain't got to be like a freaking dead eye 3-point. That helps your longevity, but you got to be able to shoot a little bit. And, I know that Drumstick on the text line, threw something out to me. He says, hey, Strick, thoughts on Zion? I very disappointed in the way that his life and career is going at this point. Not his life, he's probably having a great life, but his career, he there's so many things that he needs to do, and I just don't know if he has the heart to do it. I think he could be a limelight type of guy. Only the next few years coming forth will be able to show what he's going to be. But yeah, man, Portsmouth is going to be fun. Hopefully, all you really want is just to continue to progress and move on. You want to be able to go next step to any of the summer leagues, whether it be in Orlando, Utah, or out in Vegas. They used to have it in LA, but I don't think it's no longer in LA, but in Vegas, Utah, and Orlando, you just want to be able to go on and keep showing and keep showing. And the more that you keep showing, and then you want to get to camp, sometimes camp your body is what you're going to be. But then if you get to the G League, and then you start to develop and work on those areas that you have deficiencies in, or that they don't have expectation of you doing very well. And once you show improve there, then you may be able to step to another level. I still think that G League route would help, like a Derek Walker, for overseas, because overseas, they definitely have stretchers.
Sure.
Not stretchers you lay on, but stretch shooters. Yeah.
Right. Those are some college basketball thoughts, and Portsmouth Invitational. Congrats again to Derek Walker for being invited out for that.
Where's Greasel? No Greasel?
Not invited.
Interesting. Okay.
I know another guy that, could make a living overseas. Big body type of point guard.
Yeah, I think over in Germany, I think in Australia, I think there's a few places definitely for him he can go.
Sure. Maybe we'll follow up with Sam at some point.
Still got to shoot. You got to shoot.
He does. He does. Again, college basketball thoughts here on the block. We're going to change the conversation to college football. Steve Sipple of Early Break with Sip and Jake. We'll talk some Husker football, talk some Big Ten football as well. New commissioner officially named today. I won't start till maybe we'll get Sip's thoughts on that and more when we get back.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday.
I am back.
You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to MWRbuildingandfence.com. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're here on the block, joined on a different day by one of our favorites, Steve Sipple of Early Break with Sip and Jake. Steve, happy Wednesday. How you doing today?
Good, and how are you guys doing?
Good, Sip. We're doing wonderful, man. Glad to have you on the block today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm happy to join you.
I want to start here, Steve. Big Ten has come to terms with a new commissioner. Maybe the quietest search. I mean, we knew Kevin Warren was leaving from January, but they do agree to, hire this new commissioner. His name escapes me at the moment as I try to find it. But the important part is that he's a TV guy. He's worked a lot in TV, and that to me stands out because of Tony Petitti is his name. It was with ABC, CBS, MLB Network as well. But the Big Ten just got a new TV deal. What do you think is behind them hiring someone who has a lot of expertise in the TV realm to take over for Kevin Warren?
I think expertise in that realm is always good. Now, I know nothing about this guy. Zero. I don't. I mean, I just learned his name. I went from my show into basically a fence project. I'm kind of not really working today. So I saw the name and all I saw was a tweet. I know nothing about it. I know that it was quiet. It seldom does it work like this, where it comes out of nowhere like this. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know anything about the guy, and I'm never too concerned about it. I mean, I know it's a commissioner of a major conference, but it's not where I would tell you this, guy, it's not my area of expertise.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. It was kind of weird, just kind of how everything went. Obviously, had looking for the hunt. It seemed kind of weird why it took so long for it to finally happen. But what would Tony need to do? The big money's already been secured. What would he need to do now, do you think, going forward? Is it expansion? Where would you envision the next steps for the Big Ten?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's partly expansion. I mean, that's gigantic in this climate right now. The way college athletics is, that's part of it. I think scheduling is huge right now. We don't know what when you look at expansion, well, I mean, just what we have on our hands immediately, USC and UCLA coming into our realm in the Big Ten, and now what are the schedules going to look like? I think that's probably job number one, and that's you're dealing with the ADs and the chancellors, the presidents and the chancellors of the respective institutions, and that's all. There's a lot to that job. There's no doubt about it. But the fact that the TV contract's in place for a number of years now helps. Doesn't mean the job's easy. Although I'm not fully informed on this new hire, I'm interested to see what his background is. Why this person over probably some incredible candidates. But I think scheduling, Eric, is the expansion piece and the scheduling element are gigantic right now, and it's got to happen. I mean, the scheduling thing is something that needs to happen shortly.
Right.
We don't have long till USC, UCLA are in the fold now. After this season, they'll come July of 2024, and that's where I want to turn our attention next. USC hires Cliff Kingsbury to be a senior offensive analyst. Not able to coach on the field just yet. But, Steve, that fascinated me because USC's offense was already really good, best in the Pac-12, but their defense gave up more points than even Indiana's did last year. When you think California, you think quarterbacks, so he fits in from that regard. But it's striking to me, too, because USC, UCLA joining a new conference, one that isn't always kind to quarterbacks. You have what Ohio State's done, but then it hasn't really been about the quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Do you think USC and UCLA are in for the same kind of awakening that Nebraska was and that Scott Frost was? Or do you think they'll be able to be good enough at that position to finally make the Big Ten adjust?
I don't know if I'll believe that when I see it. I mean, it's a powerful conference. Those teams, I think, will have to adjust to the physicality where Cliff Kingsbury comes in there. I don't know. He obviously is a bright offensive mind, but Lincoln Riley knows what he's doing. I think it just falls under the category of the more intelligent people you can have around in football, the better. And it's probably pretty much as simple as that. Kingsbury's getting paid, already. It's not a money deal. He can be around a great football program and a great football mind in Lincoln Riley at an exciting time and help the program. I wouldn't get too far down the road of trying to read into how USC is going to, come storming into the Big Ten. Yeah, we have experience with that, and we know the pitfalls. It's a rugged league. Those teams are going to have to adapt. But now, listen, I think they can. I mean, those teams are playing well. USC's coming off an 11-win season. Kelly has UCLA going now. He does, and Chip Kelly has I think the number 2 quarterback or number 1 quarterback recruit in the country. So they'll be equipped. They'll be well equipped. Just have to see what it looks like.
Kelly got that guy out of Michigan, Dante Moore, from Big Ten country, commits to UCLA. Okay, hypothetical situation, Steve Sipple, high school quarterback recruit. Would you rather play for Ryan Day or Lincoln Riley in the Big Ten?
Well, there's a lot of factors there. The reason I pause, Austin, is because there's more to it for me, there would be more to it. I've always been that person that says I'm not committing to a coach. I'm going to commit to a university. If I had a child that was going through it, I would suggest that you look at the university and the program in general, and be careful with a lot, aligning with a certain coach, because it's a volatile job. You never know what's going to happen. That said, if you just break it down that way, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to beat Lincoln Riley's record with quarterbacks in the last 6 years. Heisman winners, Heisman runner-ups. You can't. It's hard to beat it. So I'll tell you, it's personal preference, since you're asking me for a subjective opinion. I like warm weather, and if I would. If I was a quarterback, that would be a big factor in my mind. It would be a big factor in my mind.
Talking with Steve Sipple of Early Break with Sip, and Jake also writes about Nebraska football for Husker Online, the On3 site for Nebraska. Steve, the transfer portal opens up on Saturday, April 15th, but Nebraska's not done with spring ball yet. Is that a disadvantage for Nebraska to have to wait a week, or does it not really make that big an impact?
Oh, I don't think it's a disadvantage. I think it can complicate the discussion a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's a big. I wouldn't. I just don't. I mean, I like Matt Rule's response to that whole thing the other day. He's worried about getting this team ready right now, and that's what you got to worry about that right now. Getting this team. I mean, this is a massive undertaking right now. Getting the team ready for a first season. I just don't. He's not going to let that conversation take over. He can't afford to let it take over.
What are some of the things and some of the expectations that you may have for this spring game, or what are the things that you would like to see established when you put your eyes on it coming up this week?
Oh, I mean, it depends how they're going to do it. You want to see physicality to a certain extent without overdoing it. The main thing everybody looks at, including me, is quarterbacks. You can make some judgments on how a quarterback responds in that setting. You can. I mean, legit judgments. A few years ago, I think it was going into Adrian's second year, Adrian Martinez. People forget it, but he didn't look good in the spring game. And then he didn't have a good season. And I was always struck by it. I went in to that spring game thinking I'm going to write a big column about how good Adrian looks. And he didn't look that good. And it was a sort of a portend. So you can draw conclusions on things. You don't want to go overboard. Hey, Eric, I mean, I almost feel guilty answering the question. You can't. There's just not much you can draw from the spring game. Now, Saturday scrimmage, it's always the scrimmage before the spring game that's the big one. And that's where you can make a lot of determinations. Unfortunately, as a media corps, we don't see that. But no, I mean, like I said, I kind of feel guilty for even trying to make the spring game something. You can watch certain elements of the quarterback position and draw some conclusions, but the big scrimmage is this Saturday.
We heard from Garrett McGuire, the wide receivers coach, earlier in the week. Again, he hasn't been here that long. It's his first coaching job. But what are your impressions of him after hearing him speak to the media and how he's handling his first, big-time, big-boy college football coaching job?
I mean, I think he must be handling it okay. I answer this always the same way. My answers are consistent. This is where you just got to trust the head coach that he made a good hire. That he feels that Garrett McGuire can handle. Because how do I know? How do you know? How do we know? I can watch him in a press conference, and there's a little bit that you can pick up on how he communicates, his poise, etc. But I mean, I always feel kind of bad when I come on shows because I think people expect you to have a lot of answers, and you got to let it play out. The other thing I've been saying consistently about this group of assistants is, now I've heard other coaches say this, and I always feel better when I hear them say, you can't really judge coaches until a couple years in. So I don't want to make anything that resembles a lasting judgment or a meaningful judgment on a coach who just started. I mean, he's literally just starting out. Let me see how he recruits for a couple of years. Let me see what that room looks like in a couple of years. And then we'll know about Garrett McGuire. But a lot of right now, listen, when it comes down to it, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, a lot of this is just superficial. It just doesn't mean that much what we're seeing right now.
Last thing before I let you go, Steve, Robin Washut, your coworker at On3, has been busy with the Nebraska basketball transfer portal. A couple pieces of big news. Rink Mast from Bradley joins the program today, and Bryce Williams, a wing from Charlotte, joins the program. Last year it was high major transfers in getting Gary from Alabama and Bandamel from SMU, but Sam Griesel comes from North Dakota State. Now you have a couple mid-major transfers. Is this a situation where you trust the head coach and his evaluation, or do you think Nebraska needs to go get someone, again, kind of at that high major level to round out the roster?
No, I don't care about that. The high major, low major, mid major. It doesn't bother me at all. I've seen these two guys play. I happened to watch the Mo Valley tournament. I don't know why. I mean, I just had free time, and I saw that center. And I loved him. I've seen him on film. I love his jump hook. I think he'll absolutely be a guy that can fit in the Big Ten. He wanted to play in the Big Ten. That was his objective. He can shoot it. He's a big man, 6'10", that has a nice soft touch, nice little baby hook, but also can go out and shoot a 3-pointer. I love him. And I even more than that, I love that kid from Charlotte. I saw him and I thought, this is gigantic, because now you pair these guys, well, not pair, but you add them to, the shooters already on the team, namely, Tominaga, but also Lawrence. I do think Fred's got something going now. I really do. I wouldn't have said that 6 hours ago necessarily, but since this news broke, and I say 6 because I heard it was going to break. Yeah. I think now what happens? Do they get Hunter? Hunter Salas? Who else can they bring in? And I think they'll try to get another center. I don't think they're done at center. I think you have to bring in another center. There's reasons I wouldn't want to get into, but I don't think I think you'll still see them go hard after Hughley, the Pitt set. So no, I love these pickups. I want to be very clear about that. I've watched them. I know what the line of thinking is, and I absolutely love them, especially the shooter from Charlotte. The kid is real. He's a real. I'm not saying he's going to come in and lead the Big Ten in scoring, but he's going to come in and average double digits. It's just a question of how far into double digits does he get.
That's Steve Sipple, early break with Sip and Jake, and Coach Bush, of course, and also writing for Husker Online for On3. Steve, appreciate the time. Thanks for letting us bug you on a different day. Have a good rest of your week. All right, guys. Have a good one. I like what he said about the transfer guys, because I highly doubt Nebraska should be done.
Yeah. There's definitely some needs. there's some needs. There's some fills. You don't want to have lack of depth, especially with the style that you play, especially defensively. If you want to continue to stay active and not have guys wear down, you want to be able to rebound, and I think you want to be able to dominate rebounding. The reason being is, if you're going to play tremendous defense, you're going to be great at that part of the game, you need to be able to secure the bag, secure the ball. That's you saw a lot of instances last year with Nebraska, that great defense. And one of the things, if you were really watching, you were paying close attention, that when they didn't secure it, a lot of things bad happened, mostly, except for the Iowa game and a couple of,
plenty bad things happened. They just overcame it.
They continued. They would be those make shots. So after you didn't work your tail off, you then got the stop, didn't secure, then you would end up giving up a bucket. The second one is that over the course of time, as it continued, you started to see lack of the effort kind of start to go down. So the same effort and intensity that you would have had and maintained had you got the rebound now has changed because you've given up offensive rebounds and now you've got another 20 seconds more that you've got to do the same thing and still go and do the same things of trying to secure the rebound. So yeah, those are things that I'm hoping that the pieces that they bring will be able to do.
We're giving a lot of stuff away now in the next 20 minutes. Coming up next, we'll play the shootout with Strick, talking NFL draft quarterbacks, some history there. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line for you. 402-464-5685. Call now to play. And in the 3 o'clock hour, again, we're going to get into athletes who looked weird in a different uniform, not the one that they're known for. And we got a pair of WWE tickets to give away. That's at Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday. So if you want 2 tickets to WWE here at Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, make sure you stay tuned in for the top of the 3 o'clock hour. We'll give away a pair of those tickets. Got to get a trivia question right. Still got one in the cooker, trying to figure out the best way to give that away. But again, if you're interested in that, stay tuned to the top of the hour. Coming up next, though, $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line for the shootout with Strick.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today. It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovation Campus. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Warm, windy conditions will fuel fire dangers this afternoon as a red flag warning will be in effect. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of 87, south winds gusting over 30. Clear skies tonight with a low 59. More warmth and wind tomorrow. South winds tomorrow could gust over 40 with a high again of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
That's right. Call now to play the Shootout with Strick. 402-464-5685. The number's for you to call to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Going back to the NFL draft, Rico is not going to have to fact check me on any of these, Strick. I made sure of that. I double, triple, quadruple checked this.
Yeah,
so I'm good today.
Rico's quick to try to jump in until he gets hit with the same thing. You know, doggone Nick killed him today with the fact check. So I'm glad he finally got him.
You're getting a look from the other room. It's kind of.
I'm not looking at Rico. I'm not looking at Rico.
Hasn't earned it yet. NFL quarterback draft history. A lot of number one overall picks. So if you know your number one overall picks, at least to some degree, you should be pretty good for this competition.
All right.
Rico's being a funny guy, but I appreciate Rico picking up on Nate. Nate, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Glad to hear it. We're doing well here. How do you think you know your NFL draft quarterbacks?
I'm okay with it. I hope.
Good deal. We appreciate you tapping in to play. Strick, how do you feel about your NFL draft quarterbacks?
Pretty good.
All right, let's give this a round. Nate, hold on the line for us here. Strick will get his round first, and we'll get to you. All right, Strick, round one of the shootout in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first quarterback drafted in 2021. Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yep. He was the first quarterback drafted in 2014. Johnny Manziel or Blake Bortles?
Bortles.
Yep. He was the first quarterback drafted in 2004. Ben Roethlisberger or Eli Manning?
Manning.
And this quarterback was the first pick in the 2007 draft.
Alex Smith.
Oh, hold on, Nate. Hold on.
Andrew Luck.
It is not Andrew Luck. It is Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, that's some garbage. I should have known that garbage. That was a buzz. Super buzz. God, how did I not know that? Terrible LSU. Oh, I'm sorry. Not LSU. LSU, LSU's fine. that was garbage.
I hate to tell you guys, that was a layup for me. I'm a Raiders fan, and that was absolutely.
You see, I saw you try to throw me off. I saw you try to throw me off the curve there. That's all right with the curveball.
All right, Nate, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first quarterback drafted in 2020. Joe Burrow or Tua Tagovailoa?
Joe Burrow.
Yep, he was the first quarterback drafted in 2012. Robert Griffin III or Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck.
Yep, he was the first quarterback drafted in 2003. Joey Harrington or Carson Palmer?
Joey Harrington.
It was Carson Palmer. And this quarterback was the first pick in the 2005 draft.
That's Alex Smith.
That is Alex Smith.
You know what?
That is Alex Smith. And that means?
Man, that's
Boom
crazy.
shakalaka! Give me a hell yeah!
You gonna give him that easy one after he done said it?
I said give me a hell yeah!
You just give him the easy one. He done said it on the line.
Nate, you can see the future.
No,
you
I see.
did it. You pulled
Man.
through. I didn't share the document with you, did I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I saw it. It was a transferring of telepathic energy. I saw it.
Nate, congratulations on the win. Hold on the line, Rico. We'll get your information. Your $15 Buffalo Wings and Rings is on the line. 1 point, Strick. 1 point. That's what it came down to. He got the half quarter.
Yeah, that's twice in freaking one day in the week.
And now we go to the tiebreaker. Rico chomping at the bit for this one.
Let's go.
Peyton Manning threw for the most touchdowns of any quarterback drafted number 1 overall. How many career touchdown passes did he throw? In the NFL, I should say, to clarify. How many NFL touchdown passes did Peyton Manning throw?
785.
785, Rico, over under?
Under.
Under is correct. The answer, 539.
785.
That's going on the board.
I don't know. Like, I'm freaking know. Like he knew us. You're gonna make him go first from now on. Like he acts like he freaking knows all the answers.
Nope, that's the rule.
No, you go.
You set
first.
the number. I go over and under. And guess what?
Maybe we'll switch it up once or twice just to see.
Guess what? Since we started keeping score, Strick is 1-2, and I am 3-0 against Strick.
No, we're switching it. We're switching it. He acts like he freaking knows all the answers. We're gonna see.
He acts like it.
We're gonna
Again,
see.
congratulations to Nate, $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. But hey, that's not all the winning we're doing, and not all the giving away we're doing on the show. We're generous. We appreciate you, our blockheads, listening to us every day here from 2 to 4. So, next segment, we're going to give away 2 WWE tickets. That's right. We got some big names coming to town here on Friday. It'll be that next WWE Friday Night SmackDown here in Lincoln. The new women's champion Rhea Ripley in town. The undisputed tag team champs Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman, and more in town on Friday. So if you want to win WWE tickets, stay tuned as we get to hour 2 of On the Block after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Heisman Trophy winner, Eric Cross. What's the game when you truck the guy?
Iowa. That was like, that play right there was all about me saying, this is my job. Because I was in a QB battle with Bobby Newcomb at that time. Actually, I shouldn't have been playing quarterback that game. I was playing receiver. I think they were trying to keep me a little bit happy, and they put me in at QB, and we had scored. And I think the coaches kind of like looked at each other like, oh, we might have to put him in like maybe another series. And so, I mean, I think I played, I don't know that I came out of the game a whole lot. We ended up winning 42-7. But again, I was just being me. That's how I play the game.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 on the block, getting going here on your Wednesday. Letter W, important, giving away a couple WWE tickets here in just a few minutes here on the block. Good first hour, Strick.
Yeah. I mean, good first hour. Husker basketball is still in the hunt of things. No pun intended. You can't get Hunter Dickinson, so you're not in the hunt for him. But you're in the hunt for another Hunter. But we'll see where that all ultimately comes down to. Hopefully, the women have done a good job of securing who they felt was going to leave. Hopefully this will be a tremendous season, that this baseball season will continue. They're doing very good right now in the Big Ten. I think they're third or fourth in the conference right now. So hopefully they'll continue to play well and, either secure a spot of getting into the playoffs, which they missed last year. Track's always been pretty solid for Nebraska. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do in the spring. Softball, we want to see them continue to do well, play well, and hopefully get back in the mix of things as well. So I'm trying to figure out what the spring's going to look like for me.
We'll talk Husker baseball with Evan Bland in just a little bit. He's with the Omaha World Herald. Big shout out Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, Charles and his crew down at 27th Pine Lake here in Lincoln. One more time.
Food for the soul. And I'm not talking about the movie. See that where I got if you're a big movie buff, you know where I got that from. Big movie, Coming to America. Just let your soul glow. I can't sing where the darn.
I thought that was beautiful, Strick.
Just let it shine through. So glow, baby. That's where we get it from.
I think we need a sponsor for karaoke with Strick.
No, terrible, horrible.
That's part of the fun, though.
God knew what to give me. He knew not to give me a voice because I'd be up there like Jodeci or something, or like you know who I really like, who I thought had just an amazing voice was Journey Perry.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry. Oh
Mhm.
my God.
Mhm.
When he sings, it's just like I'll drive in the car and I'll just be listening to, Steve Perry go, man. And I'll be like, dang, that man God knew not to give me a voice like him because I'd be serenading. I'd be in the bar serenading the honeys all day.
Are you a shower singer?
Somewhat.
It's either yes or a no. It's a yes or a no.
Somewhat. No, not really.
That's a yes. What are your go-tos? Come on.
Oh man, I mean, I am really a versatile musical guy. Like I'm okay with contemporary country. I'm not the old school twang Alabama, the banjo and the twang. I'm not that kind of country listener, but I'm 80s, 70s, R&B, rock, soft rock. I like Eagles. I like Journey. I like Asia. So a lot of that. 90s rap, definitely big on that. And I'm an R&B dude, and I love some ballads. I like Sade. So I have a wide range of just musical interests. Yeah.
Text line, let us know what your go-to song that you sing in the shower is. For me, Strick, it just comes down to whatever's stuck in my head. Like I hear something stupid on the radio and I don't like the song, but it's the only chance I have to sing without getting judged.
I freaking love this show, bro. I just look, you guys make me just so happy when I don't care how I'm feeling or if I'm feeling good or I'm feeling down. You guys will bring a laugh to me. Breezy Scott. Breezy Scott just sitting on the text line, the Sauter Haven text line. He just said, sexual chocolate. Randy Watson. Yes. You guys are hilarious. I love it. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Mary Ellen's once again. Charles's birthday's today.
Charles, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Charles. Yes. I wish I could come out there and celebrate with you today, have a cocktail, toast to you and Mary Ellen's and the crew, but I cannot. I have to get out of here right after. And I'm sad about it because I really would love to come out there, shake your hand, hug your neck, and say, what's up, my man? I really would.
Absolutely. Text line, keep it coming. Again, your favorite songs to sing in the shower. But also, who are the athletes that looked most out of place in a different uniform? Athletes that were well known for their exploits in one town with one team, but then whether it's the end of their career, whether they forced a trade or were traded at some point.
Let's talk about it.
Who are those athletes that just looked weird? It's just still weird to think about them in a different uniform. Strick, who's one of those guys for you?
Okay, I'm gonna give you three.
Okay.
There's gonna be one probably for I'm gonna go for football, basketball, and a hockey.
Ooh, hockey. You don't get a lot of that here.
Let's just be real about it. Let's just go for the top notch. Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform was just, come on, somebody.
What are we doing?
That's just like, that just was the oddest thing on earth to me. That just didn't feel right, didn't sit right.
So
wasn't feeling it.
You would have played against MJ.
I did.
With
both
Wizard,
uniforms.
with both.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you on the court? See him in the Bulls and then see him in the Wiz.
It was the weirdest thing ever, but it was kind of like you understood why he did it. He's down there, the team is terrible. You just start itching and you want to kind of get out there and maybe put your stamp on it. So I get that, but yeah, it was the oddest thing for me.
Which was weirder, Jordan in a Wizards jersey or Jordan wearing 45?
Oh, those are two weird ones, but I would say Wizards was probably worse for me. I can understand the jersey. You can kind of understand that part of it. Okay, so next one. I'm going to move on and go to the next one, football. Jerry Rice in a freaking Seahawks uniform.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing ever. You think of Jerry Rice, you're thinking San Francisco 49ers. Mm-hmm. And you can go with Joe Montana too, but I'm going to stay away from that. That might be somebody else's love. I'm not going to touch that one. But for hockey, I'm going to say Mike Modano because I played in Dallas.
Okay.
I played for the Mavericks, and Mike Modano was a prevalent name for the Dallas Stars. And to see Mike Modano's in a Red Wings uniform, that was kind of weird to me, going from that green and, You know, just being a Dallas Stars guy, actually went to some games, and to see Mike Modano in a Red Wings uniform, that was odd. Those are my 3 in the major sports.
I like it. A lot of these guys I'm going to come up with were a little bit before my time because it was kind of weird to me to look back on some of these guys' career and picture them in a different uniform. One of them, Big Patrick Ewing, in anything but a Knicks uniform. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. That was odd. And I would say in a similar fashion, when you look at 2 legends, 2 Hall of Famers, when you speak of that same thing, I look at Gary Payton and, as Luffy said, Karl Malone in a Lakers uniform. That was odd. And I would say the same thing about Shaq.
Okay.
Shaq in a Boston uniform. Stop the cap. Let's be real about it. Shaq in a Boston uniform, you could kind of try to get over it when he went to Cleveland. You know, you understand the move, but in a Boston uniform,
a Laker,
that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense.
I'll say this on the Shaq front: it wasn't as weird for me because I kind of grew up at the tail end of Shaq's career, and he was with a different team every year, a couple of years. You know, young Shaq in Orlando. You know, prime dominant Shaq in Los Angeles. But then Strick, he's all over the place. He's in Phoenix. He's in Boston.
Yeah.
He's in, Miami. He's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. So Shaq, I mean, I'm sure at first would have been weird, but I got so used to Shaq being in different uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, it got to a point where it was a madhouse. You know, Shaq was everywhere. Shaq was stealing. Let's be real. Big was stealing. Let's throw out a couple more. I know everybody's going to be talking about maybe, I would say one that was weird. He started out in Toronto, made a move, but where you really know, like it's really not a weird one, but it's kind of weird because when you think of Tracy McGrady, where do you think?
Houston.
Okay, most people think Houston, but some think Orlando.
Sure.
And that's what's crazy. So it's kind of, Tracy's kind of one of those ones that's kind of just like, you really don't, because he was really Toronto. That's where it kind of got all started. I would probably think Houston too, just because of just the crazy stuff he did with kind of leading some of those teams. But the odd one for me was him in a Knicks uniform.
I forget that era ever happened.
Right?
Wow.
That's the one that throws me for the loop, is Tracy McGrady in a freaking Knicks uniform. That was odd for me. Yeah, that was a throw off for me. Now I'm going to throw this one at you.
Okay.
The Cowboys had a big 3. Aikman, Smith, Irving.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of Smith, what do you think?
I think of Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
I think of Dallas.
All the way.
Yeah,
how do
he's
you,
a Dallas guy.
How do you even envision him in what other jersey? What other jersey did he wear?
I should know this.
West side.
Raiders?
No. West side. Southwest.
Oh, Cardinals.
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 That is the oddest one too. That one throws me for a loop. Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals uniform was just like, really?
NFL's all-time leading rusher with that franchise?
Yeah, that was weird. Some on the text line. Let's see what you guys are talking about on the text line. Yes. Unnamed texter 2678. Yes. Because Ken Griffey Jr., you do not in any form or fashion think outside of Seattle.
No, he's a Mariner.
He was a Mariner, and then to see him in a White Sox, yes, I would have to agree with you on that.
Maybe a touch of the Reds.
Maybe a touch of the Reds.
He's iconic.
Maybe a touch of the Reds, but iconic for yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else you got from the text line, Strick?
Text line, we got unnamed texter. Yes, I would have to agree with you. Brett Favre to the Vikings. That was definitely. I mean, you're talking about rival type energy. To go Brett Favre from Green Bay to there, that was definitely one. That's a common one. Eric on the text line throws out Peyton to the Broncos. He's got the throw up, the vomit. Yeah, that was probably ugly for some people.
So as a big Peyton fan growing up, at first it was weird, but honestly, that shock went away pretty quickly for me for 2 reasons. Number one is that the Colts cut him.
Mm-hmm.
They let him go because of the neck surgery. Didn't think he was going to be the same, and because Andrew Luck was on the way. So I got used to seeing Peyton in a Broncos jersey pretty quickly just because the Colts cut bait with him the way they did, and because he was successful. It feels like two distinct eras of Peyton, but
yeah.
he loves Denver. He's still around the area, helps the Broncos organization out. So as much as Peyton will always be a Colt to me, I'm sure he's always going to be a Bronco to plenty of people in Denver.
Yeah. Nyla Boo throws out a curveball. Like Nyla Boo is up there throwing 101 mile an hour fastballs and then comes with a slider that just drops off the table. She throws out Michael Jordan, not as you think though. Michael Jordan in a White Sox AA uniform.
Talk about a slider, not one he could hit.
yeah, that was one that was quite odd. Now, Aaron throws out Albert Bell with the Indians and not Baltimore White Sox. Yes, but the one that I'm really going to throw out is baseball juggernaut, one that you would no way think Boston Red Sox great, Manny Ramirez. Where did he go?
Well, Manny was with Cleveland to start,
Mm-hmm.
goes to Boston. And
You
then,
mostly think of him in Boston.
for sure.
Let's be real.
I know he went to the Dodgers for a while.
Tampa Bay.
Manny was in Tampa?
Yes, in 2011.
Huh?
Yeah. That uniform don't even look right, because he always had the baggy pants, the hair, he was always, that uniform just did not look right with him in 2011. Manny Ramirez, he was definitely one. Some of you guys threw out on the text line, Allen Iverson in a different uniform. Yes, that is definitely one I would have to agree with.
Is AI a Sixer or a Nugget to you?
Super Sixer. I mean, all day. Like, there's not even a question for him in a Sixers uniform.
We have those WWE tickets to give away, Strick. And along this theme, how are people going to win the tickets?
Well, the way that you're going to win the tickets, I'm going to say you've got to be the fourth person.
Fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Person that pops up. So
two tickets to Friday Night SmackDown this coming Friday in Lincoln.
2 tickets. And here's the person. And it's going to be a little riddle that Stricky's going to throw at you. Because this particular person, I want to kind of trick you out a little bit. This person had a dream, and I'm not talking about he was Martin Luther King. He had a dream. He handled things down in Lone Star Country. He used to shake up the competition. He was one of those guys that handled his business down there in the South, shaking up and handling business with all the competition. Could not handle him. Straight out of Africa. And where did he play?
What's his name and where did he finish his career?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Name and where did he finish his career?
Texter number 4.
Texter number 4. This guy played in Texas. He was a dream of a player, but he had a crazy shake. And I'm not talking about a Harlem Shake. Who is that guy?
Texter number 4. You get the 2 tickets to Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln.
Ooh, I think I threw some people for a loop. Some are saying Michael Finley. No.
While we wait for the text line strike, I'm going to throw out a couple other basketball players.
Yeah. Ooh, somebody hit it.
We got the name.
But you don't got the right place. Yes, Tad, you're on. Tad, you're on it, but you're still off of it.
Where'd he finish? We need the name.
We need the name and where was
city.
the ugly jersey? The jersey.
Oh, there's one. We got one in.
One in.
Okay, Texter 4. No.
2 in.
The jersey was not ugly.
It was
yeah.
It wasn't,
but it was ugly for where he came from.
It was.
Yeah.
The jersey was cool.
3 in. 4. There he is.
There we go. We got it.
We
will
got
be in
it.
contact with Texter number 4 here. I got it highlighted. I'll reach out.
Texter number 4, 0012. Please put your name. Oh yeah, there you are. Okay. We know your name. Call in, email as well. Put your name and email, and we'll have them reach out to you with how to obtain and get those tickets. Ooh, some of you guys were hitting it, but it was just, you were not number 4. And some of you guys got in too early, was saying Hakeem, but no jersey and where he finished. So that's how it worked out.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
That was
Is
it.
the answer?
Toronto went north of the border.
Mm-hmm.
He was a traveling man.
For last season, he was. Here are two names I want to throw out to you. Number one, Dwayne Wade with the Bulls.
Yes.
And the Cavs. That was weird.
That was really weird.
One that you threw out to me that I don't know how I forgot this. Dwight Howard. First of all, to the Lakers was weird, but you mentioned his time in Atlanta.
Atlanta. It looked weird, him being in Atlanta. That was an oddity for me. But I'm going to throw one out on you that you're not gonna believe. He too came from the Lone Star State. And he went somewhere out east to join Michael Jordan. He was a tremendous player, guard. Who was that?
Repeat the question, please. Thank you.
He played in the Lone Star State.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two.
Are you going Tony Parker to Charlotte?
Tony Parker to Charlotte. That was odd. That was odd.
Weird. Yeah.
One that'll also throw you a curveball. Played for the Lake Show.
Okay.
Ended up in the Lone Star State. Big man.
See, I was going to say Bruce Bowen.
Pau Gasol.
Yeah.
In a Spurs uniform.
Yeah.
I don't even think he wanted to even play after you got to that part of it.
Pau in a Lakers uniform was weird at first, but
yeah,
Pau bouncing around the league and ending up in San Antonio.
Yeah, that was odd. So yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Let's talk a few other different sports. Like what about some people threw out obviously the great Gretzky. There were some that threw that out there. Could you imagine Pete Rose in any other jersey than Cincinnati?
I know that he played for the Expos.
He did. 84.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
Did you talk about KG and Paul Pierce in Brooklyn uniforms?
I was gonna throw that out there, but yeah, that was that was weird. That was weird. I don't. You can't even talk about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is just like
KD in a Sonics
right?
uniform. KD in a Sonics uniform. That's what he started with.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
You talked about Shaq, right?
Yeah.
Shaq in a Suns uniform still weirds me out.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
That one's weird.
That is a weird one.
We got Albert Pujols with the Dodgers from the text line.
Yeah.
He did play for the Dodgers.
Terrell Owens, I always think of
think
as a Cowboy.
Yeah.
I don't even think of him as a Niner. That's before
Really?
my time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's a Cowboy to me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
He's a Niner for me.
Randy Moss in a Raiders jersey.
Randy Moss in a Vikings uniform to me.
But that's like the OG. Like I see that. And the Raiders, like I see it and it's not weird, but thinking about it, it's still kind of, and then Randy Moss in a Patriots uniform. Like I loved it, but it's still.
It was I'm going to tell you one. Okay. Baseball. From as far as you can go to the west to as far dang near as you can go to the east. Baseball player, great hitter.
Ichiro. Iconic Mariner. Speaking of iconic Mariners, the text line says Randy Johnson with the Diamondbacks. I think of him as a Diamondback.
I think of Randy
Johnson. I know
Johnson
he had
as
a great time in Seattle.
Yeah, I think of him as a
D-back.
Diamondback. I think of him as a Diamondback.
He is.
Yeah.
That's where he killed the bird, right?
Yes, that is.
That poor bird.
We probably have time for one more. We do have to get to Evan Bland. For both of you, who do you think of with LeBron? Which jersey is LeBron?
Cleveland
and Miami.
Cleveland.
Like seeing those two isn't weird. Seeing him in a Lakers jersey is still kind of iffy. But the Miami jersey,
Laker for me,
especially when you put the mask on, that's iconic.
Batman
Which
LeBron.
one?
Yeah, when he had the black jerseys and the black mask, iconic.
Interesting. There's a lot.
There we go. That's a lot of good stuff.
Good stuff.
Text line, appreciate you. Congratulations to our WWE winner. We're going to step aside. Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald.
Chris Chelios, great one for Detroit. Great one. Good throw. Good throw.
Interesting. Evan Bland on the other side.
Lincoln Earth Day is on Saturday, April 15th at UNL's Innovations. Green vehicles, local foods, live music, and fun family-friendly activities from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by Johanna Rhodes Real Estate. More event details at rhoadshomes.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Silverado light-duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light-duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with roof credit.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
There's a new way to vacay when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient nonstop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to choose from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit GoFlyRed.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
I wanted to quit for so long, but I didn't know where to start.
I was afraid of what people would think, but then I found the right support to start my recovery journey. 1 in 14 Americans reports experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find the one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along here on the block on your Wednesday. Joined as we are every Wednesday by Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Evan, before we get into some Husker-related topics, our last segment that the text line kind of went nuts for was athletes that looked weird in a different uniform. Who are some of those guys that you think of in one uniform that went somewhere else, and it was just weird to see them in a secondary different uniform?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I think the first one has to be Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform, right? Like that's the one that always comes to mind for me first. Boy, that's a good question. There's so many in baseball too. I think where Albert Pujols ended up the last couple of years of his career, man, you're putting me on the spot here to think of some other really good professional ones in the NBA too. I mean, I'm a Spurs fan, so the way that Tony Parker ended his career in Charlotte was always weird to me. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could give you some better answers off the top, but it's definitely trippy when you see some iconic athlete in a different set of clothes.
On the Spurs front, one that came up was Pau Gasol, from Memphis to the Lakers to the Spurs. How was that as a Spurs fan, getting Pau to San Antonio?
Well, it was weird. And it was, if I recall, pretty well after his prime, too. So after doing battle with him for years, Spurs, Lakers, to see him in black and silver was odd. I can't imagine that he liked it all that much either. And it was, I kind of forgot that he was even a Spur now that you mentioned that. But, it's just like it's not what you're looking for after years of a great rivalry that they had.
Would it have been weirder to see Tim Duncan wear a different uniform or Greg Popovich coach somewhere else?
Oh man, Tim Duncan in a different uniform for sure. He's my all-time favorite player. And so he came into the league in the 97 draft. And that was like right when I was getting into middle school. And so I was able to follow him essentially, the guy that I liked as a middle schooler into my 30s, all with the same team. Their championship window was open for, I mean, what do you think, 15 years or so? I mean, they were always contenders. So yeah, that would have driven me crazy to see him end up somewhere else. And it always, you think about sort of the free agent world that professional sports is now. I always think of LeBron as sort of the guy who really put that to the test, because there were a lot of Cavs fans until suddenly there were a lot of Heat fans. And so it really forced you to decide, am I a fan of the franchise or am I a fan of the player? And I'm just thankful I never had to make that decision with Tim Duncan. I mean, I think it would have felt like your parents divorcing and having to pick one. So I'm glad they stayed together.
Absolutely. We'll move on to some Husker topics here, Evan, but we'll get to that after the Big Ten hires a new commissioner, Tony Petitti, and football is his focus. I mean, he helped create the BCS with ABC. He helped CBS get NFL games. But what I'm fascinated by is the baseball part of his resume, where he helped launch the MLB network, and also, helped MLB expand, especially with youth internationally. Could this new commissioner be the guy that pushes more Big Ten teams to take baseball seriously?
Yeah, it's really interesting from the baseball side. And for obvious financial reasons, that's probably down the list for most of the casual fans. But yeah, I mean, he, like you mentioned, deputy commissioner of Major League Baseball behind Rob Manfred, innovative thinker. And you have to imagine the first time he fires up his BTN Plus subscription and watches, Penn State, Michigan State, and has to think, my goodness gracious, we can probably do a little bit better than what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, I would think you would hopefully see a push toward an expansion of baseball coverage on the Big Ten network, as opposed to, a replay of the 1992 Ohio State Michigan game or whatever. I would think that sort of forward thinking approach would be helpful. And you think about how the league's going to change from the baseball side with the addition of USC and UCLA. You're going to go to 15 teams. And I know there's been a push from coaches to add more league games. Right now you play 8 opponents, you'd miss 4. And it's a 13-team league. I know they want to be more, I think, creative, efficient maybe about how they do that. Maybe they'll go to more of a pod scheduling like they did during the 2021 league only season. Maybe you split it up into 3 divisions by geography. So I think having a guy, in Petitti who has a history of thinking outside the box when it comes to baseball, when it comes to promoting that sport, I imagine he'll have a say, and I think it'll be a welcome one again, among a group of coaches that certainly have wanted to push this thing forward, even if maybe the ADs and some of the schools have been slower to help progress that sport.
I'm sure you're right in that it is down the list a little bit. Taking care of football and even, basketball to some degree, I think will take precedence. But if you are going to expand the coverage of baseball from a Big Ten perspective, do you, improve the TV infrastructure to make the broadcast better first? Or do you say, hey, schools, prove to me that you're willing to invest in baseball, get better facilities, go out and schedule tougher games, and then we'll, that'll draw ratings into TV that we can focus on next?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think in a lot of situations, the facilities actually are pretty good. And you can go back to 2015, 2016, when the Big Ten signed its first major television deal. And at some point, you run out of ways to spend money on football. And so you did see it spill over into other sports. I mean, you look at some of the other baseball facilities, maybe not the game day fields, but some of the player development pieces, the practice facilities, the indoor setups have vastly improved in the league in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's because of that money spillover. And for whatever reason, it hasn't always translated to the product. I mean, if you watch a BTN Plus game that's at Haymarket Park, it's pretty good quality. I would say it's the best quality that you get in the league. I think Michigan is decent. Northwestern is decent when it comes to their coverage. But man, anybody who's tried to follow a game at Michigan State on what looks like a security CCTV camera, or at Penn State, which almost looks like it has this kind of greenish hue to it, there's absolutely a lot of room to improve. And maybe that is an investment in sort of the broadcast equipment and the broadcast side of things. And you give students a chance to do it and to run cameras and things like that. So maybe that's part of it. I think the Big Ten is generally scheduled okay. Their RPI doesn't always reflect that, certainly by the time they get into conference and you're fighting uphill against the cold weather disadvantages that have long plagued northern teams. But, I don't know that you're ever going to get to the point where you can generate major interest in, Penn State baseball or Rutgers baseball. I know they had a good year, but it's just, I don't know that availability on TV necessarily will help, but it can't hurt. And if that's your goal, is to draw in the casual fan and to boost your own television network and sort of the notoriety of it, then I think it does behoove you at least to offer some more games. Maybe treat it like volleyball, where not every single match is broadcast, but you're going to have a match on, or two games or whatever on a given night. And it helps bring in casual fans and helps promote the sport. And again, I think it's a bad look when you have a big conference series or a couple big ones and you're replaying old football bowl games from 30 years ago. I think they can do better than that. And somebody, with the background that Petit has, I would imagine would come in and think the same.
We're talking Husker baseball with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here on the block. Evan, you mentioned the RPI at the start of your last answer, and one that might ding Nebraska a little bit, losing for the second time this season to Omaha, down in the 200s, 240s, I think it was. Get down 5-0, crawl back to tie the game before losing it in extra innings. Nebraska can't afford to drop too many more of these midweek games, can it?
Well, not if it's fancying itself an at-large team, no. I mean, you can't. Typically, Nebraska and really any power conference team that wants to be considered for an at-large, you got to be right around the top 40, give or take. That's sort of the where you're on the bubble. And so Nebraska, like you said, got dinged again with another home loss to Omaha, which is way down there. And I think they dropped 15 spots or so from maybe the low 80s to the mid 90s. And, not to say that you can't go on a run and play yourself back into that conversation. But, 2 home losses to Omaha hurt. The loss at Creighton hurts. Going 0-3-1 at San Diego to start the year, I think that's a program out there that isn't as good as maybe it looked like it could have been in mid-February. So, you're sort of reaching that point to where you have to put all your focus on the league and win those league weekends. If you're a regular season champ of the Big Ten, I think the odds are still awfully good that you'd be an at-large team. Certainly if you win the conference championship, you get that automatic bid. But, barring a big run here in the next, 4 weeks by Nebraska, I wonder what their at-large resume can look like, because they have a couple nice wins. Certainly, the Vanderbilt win is far and away their best of the year. That's going to be something that keeps on giving. And they have a few other nice wins. The series win at Michigan was helpful last weekend, but again, you have to take care of the business in the midweeks. You can't lose to those teams that are really going to submarine your RPI. So while I would say that Nebraska's at-large chances are not totally gone, I think at this point they do feel like more of a long shot after Tuesday.
You mentioned that Michigan series. Nebraska goes on the road to Ann Arbor, wins on Friday, and then wins on Sunday with what Will Bolt called the most complete performance, or maybe the most complete performance by his team so far this season. Let's go to the game they lost, though. Rough start from Jace Kaminska. Nebraska did battle back. Are you concerned at all about how Kaminska's looked recently, or do you think that's just a blip on the radar for him?
Well, I think in the bigger picture of his career, those outings that he had on Saturday would be few and far between. He has had a couple, like you mentioned, recently, a little bit of command issues again, which hasn't really been something that he's struggled with a ton. And you look at his history at Wichita State, they didn't have a lot of depth there. And so they often rode him hard, over 100 pitches. And that's oftentimes when he came undone, late in his outings out there. So I think if you're Nebraska, the best way to deploy him is to give him 80 to 95 pitches, maybe let him do what he can do over 5 or maybe 6. And so, yeah, you're probably a little concerned about the command just from the last couple of outings. You hope he can figure that out as an older guy and as somebody who has designs on being a professional player, even as soon as this summer when he would hope to get drafted. But I think the whole idea of Nebraska having co-aces has probably taken a little bit of a hit to where Emmett Olson has really risen up in the last couple of weeks. Certainly he did Friday at Michigan, and Kaminska's probably settled into more of a true Saturday or number 2 guy. But yeah, I think as they especially continue to go through the league schedule here and try to finish strong, he's a guy in Kaminska who will make a big difference in how far Nebraska can go the rest of the way.
And it's, not great for Nebraska to have a guy in Kaminska struggling, but if Will Walsh pitches like he has been, like he did on Sunday, that at least gives Nebraska a little bit more confidence that they don't have to win Friday, Saturday to win a series, right?
Yeah, it's not sort of the total question mark that it was the first month of the year, and it's their struggles are well documented there. They've cycled through a number of different players, freshmen, former starters, veteran transfers, and none of them have really been able to stick. And I think Walsh certainly did enough Sunday to give himself another chance this weekend. And it's kind of hard to know what to make of Northwestern. I mean, their record is bad. They're objectively not a good team, but you look at even their midweek game last night, they lose to Illinois Chicago 24-20. So that's a team that can still swing the bats a little bit. And so I imagine there'll be a little bit of a test there. But yeah, I mean, it gives you a little bit more margin for error if you're Nebraska. They've started to find their place and their roles, I think, with the bullpen. Last night's struggles notwithstanding, but I think Walsh is, if he can continue to settle in as that Sunday guy and give you 4 or 5 innings and give up a run or 2, that's absolutely what Nebraska would be looking for, given what they feel like their offense and defense are capable of.
So Northwestern not going to help the RPI all that much. For Nebraska to bump that up, I assume it comes down to the Iowa and Maryland series, really? Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, they're in a stretch right now where any loss hurts and a win doesn't really help you that much. And really, this is the part of the year where you really are reminded, the benefits of playing in a warmer weather league with a better RPI, because the first month of the year, when you're traveling to these different locations, that's sort of when you build up your resume. And now you're in the part, like you mentioned, against a lot of teams that are struggling, where it's hard to really improve your stock too much. You're just trying to tread water, which is why it's so important for Nebraska to win weekends just as a league contender, more so than as an at-large, team that it's aspiring toward in that regard. So, I think Iowa is the clear outlier there when they travel there in about a week. Maryland continues to, I think, be one of the better teams in the Big Ten, certainly. And beyond that, it's been tough. I mean, Nebraska's last 3 league series at home it's going to feel like a failure if they lose any of those games. Northwestern, Minnesota's not good. Penn State's been okay, but they're toward the bottom of the league too. So it's sort of taking care of business mode for Nebraska, and you have to stack wins and then kind of hope that the standings play into your favor at the end.
That's Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald talking some Husker baseball with us. Evan, appreciate the work you do on the beat. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the block. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, Austin.
Once again, Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us here on the block. Time for us to cross it over. We'll get Strick back in here, see who's with us on Old School today when we cross it over next.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
There's a new way to vacay when you fly LNK. Check out brand new service at the Lincoln Airport to some of America's favorite travel destinations. Catch convenient nonstop flights to Vegas, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Orlando, Austin, Dallas, or Nashville when you fly via Redway. With so many affordable options to choose from, planning your vacation has never been easier. Visit goflyred.com and book today. Flights are public charters offered by Global X Air Tours LLC and operated by Global Crossing Airlines Incorporated.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday. I am back. You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Hi, I'm Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new Light Duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Root Credit.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction. They sell in bulk to save you money. From a 5-gallon bucket to they deliver anywhere. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April with some restrictions applying. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Warm, windy conditions will fuel fire dangers this afternoon as a red flag warning will be in effect. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of 87, south winds gusting over 30. Clear skies tonight with a low of 59. More warmth and wind tomorrow. South winds will gust over 40 with a high again of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and thefm.com.
Oh, gotta stretch it out, stretch it out. Hey, run the block.
Are you any less sore now? You loosened up a little bit?
Negative.
You should have saw him just.
Kenny, don't tell on your boy.
My bad.
You can say it.
No,
I was stiff as a board, wasn't I, Kenny?
Looked like Red Fox.
Red Fox looked like looked like Jefferson's when it was walking.
Red Fox.
Dang, Red Fox. Dang, it was that bad?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Too many swings on the golf course, huh?
No.
He looks like he went golfing, doesn't he?
You dress like a golfer today.
Thank you.
I was not, and I wouldn't be able to swing a club if I wanted to. No, my trainer, it was super abs day. And when I tell you,
abs got your back hurting,
bro, the stuff we was doing, it was pop locking. It felt like breakdancing. I don't know what was going on, but the back wasn't working. And it woke up this morning, and I was trying to do the stretch, the stretch that you think you get in the hamstring. No, sir, it was not working.
That's called getting old, brother.
That's the part.
Old age.
That's the part. So listen, we were talking a little bit earlier about just uniform players that kind of. Is there somebody specific that sticks out to you that you was thinking about?
Y'all hit a lot.
We hit a lot, bro. We did. Text line hit us too. They was on it.
The main one for me was Emmett leaving.
Yeah,
the
Cowboys. That was. Why Jerry do that to him?
Well,
yeah, that's some bull junk.
Jordan to the Wizards.
Well, MJ was sitting over there on the sidelines. Was like, you know what?
Yeah,
these suckers is
not
terrible.
Really done.
Let me step out here.
But just to see him in that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Weird. Even for him to wear 12 and 45 was weird.
Right.
The numbers.
The numbers.
The Bulls was weird.
Yeah.
He saw that 45 wasn't getting it done, so he went back to 23.
Facts. Took that thing out the rafters.
Yeah, he had to. So no, but y'all were hitting some bombs.
You're a St. Louis guy, so Dickerson and Pujols, which is weirder?
Challenge.
I would say Dickerson.
Okay.
I would say Dickerson.
Did he have the highest knee step?
Stride.
Boy, he looked pretty when he ran, didn't it?
I was just gonna. It was so pretty.
He looked pretty when he ran.
It was so pretty. Yeah.
When you think about running backs, and I know, I think I know. I'm gonna put it in telepathic minds and connect. What running back out? I'm gonna give you two because there's two in mind. But what running backs did when you saw them run, you was like,
So Dickerson was one.
No, outside of him. Let's go.
Okay. Marcus Allen.
Ooh, interesting.
He had the high knee.
You threw me off. Okay, you threw me off with that.
And Adrian Peters.
Wow. You know who I thought you was gonna say?
Who?
Walter Payton.
Well, Sweetness was my guy.
I thought you was gonna say Walter Payton.
Sweetness was my guy, but him and Tony Dorsett was my guy. But you talking about form and style, and it was Dickerson and Marshall.
You know who I love to see run?
Marshall Falk.
Ooh,
now he did.
That
have
was a
high
good
knee.
one. That
Now,
was a good one.
Marshall had a.
That was a good one.
Yes,
I loved Barry Sanders.
he was just so.
Barry Sanders just. I mean, when he could go from a stop to a
full speed
in the blink of an eye, man. I used to love watching Barry Sanders work, and just I always would say Barry Sanders to me, if he had the line that Emmitt Smith had,
that anybody had.
Barry Sanders would have blew the record out of the water.
Yes.
I mean, it wouldn't even been close. He didn't have a line.
He
was
didn't even
doing
have a
what he
fullback
did.
in front of him.
Yeah.
Emmitt had Johnson.
Yeah.
Moves.
Moves.
Late in Barry's career, they got Schlesinger. But by that time, he was already. I think Barry was already made up his mind that he was going to retire early.
So Barry was a few years before you got to Nebraska. Did anyone on the team tell any stories about going up against?
They didn't have to tell me.
You just knew.
I got there in '90, and the crazy thing is, Tony Samuel, we had him on yesterday. They were talking about certain running backs, and then the film came on with Barry.
Oh, boy.
They had Barry and Thurman.
Yes,
that's right.
That's what's crazy. Thurman didn't even get the super love.
He had, but I think Barry hit him for like 185, 200.
Oh Lord,
they still looking for Broderick Thomas, and they're still looking for Barry. Trust me, Leroy Etienne, they still looking for Barry.
Yeah,
and
let me throw this one at you. The worst turf to play on, because I'm telling you,
I always said Missouri was the
Missouri was the worst. That thing
sand.
was like a hard rock, and you was slipping and sliding.
So we had to wear the longer, wet weather cleats, shoes on that field. I got an NBA question for you.
Oh, break it down.
Did you see that game last night?
You talking about the Lake Show?
Don't call them that.
That's your peoples.
No, that's not
you know you
people.
love LeBron and the Lakers.
They did. That was not the Lake Show. The two people that they needed the most, meaning Timberwolves, did not show up.
Mm-hmm.
Edwards was 1-3 for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Karl Anthony Towns disappeared the whole fourth quarter.
Well, he normally does that. He has a way of doing that.
And Jay sat here yesterday and called him the S word, SOFT, soft.
Cottonelle soft?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I watched AD bully him from the fourth quarter to the overtime. I'm like, he didn't want no parts of that.
He hit him with the backhand stepchild.
Just Karl Anthony Towns. And then he was begging for
fouls,
an offensive foul when AD got that rebound, put it back in his face.
No, yeah, he didn't want that smoke.
I'm like, come on.
That's the new generation, my boy. That's the new generation. Yeah, they don't want that smoke. And they lost in overtime. If any of them show up in any way, form or
fashion, they win the game. They were up 13.
Yeah.
And but Conley to hit those 3 free throws.
Yeah. He's still underrated. Veteran. He's still underrated.
Very underrated.
He's still underrated. He's been treated dirt. He's been treated like dirt. Yeah.
The years in Memphis, he balled out.
He balled out. Yeah.
But
what you think about tonight? Oh, wait, real quick. Station identification. We'll come right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Real quick. Not even tonight. Does the Lake Show want any bit of Sacramento, or is Sacramento in trouble? I think Sacramento's going.
They got Memphis.
The Lakers got Memphis.
Lakers got Memphis.
They got
7 seed, right?
Yep. Memphis is the 2.
Ooh,
Brooks got what he asked for.
He got what he asked for
with that.
I don't think the Lakers. I don't think the Memphis want that smoke. I don't think Memphis from. I think they play well, but I don't think they match up well with the Lakers. I think Sacramento does better matchup. That's just me.
I think
thinking.
Memphis.
That's gonna be crazy. Golden State against Sacramento. That's gonna be the one.
That's the one that's scary.
Yeah,
you don't want Sac right out the gate. You really don't.
De'Aaron Fox is a beast, bro. Them young boys serious.
They serious. They ain't backing down. But to me, if Memphis, we're gonna see what Brooks is made of when he's going,
all that talking
when he's guarding LeBron.
Do they get Gary? Does Gary Payton?
He's back.
See,
he's back.
That's
You ain't
dangerous.
watch him put that put back.
That's dangerous.
He's back.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
defensively,
yeah, man.
and rebounds. He can hit them boards, and he can. Yeah, he's back. Wiggins is the piece.
Wiggins is the piece.
He's the piece.
He is the one. He's the one that's going to determine it.
If his mind is clear
from
whatever he was dealing with, from what I heard, what he was dealing with is crazy. But if his mind is clear,
yeah,
and it's 100% on basketball, he's their piece.
Are the Nuggets fraudulent?
Denver?
Are they
use
fraudulent?
the F word.
I did use the F word for them.
You did. Jokic, man.
He's a beast, bro.
That old man.
I know they're gonna figure out a way not to give it to him again, but
to me,
I still think he deserves it. When you look at the metrics and all the analytics,
with the games he missed down the stretch, Embiid should win it.
Yeah,
it's a three-headed race. I said that.
Yeah.
Him, Jokic,
Giannis,
and then Tatum.
Oh, you think Tatum?
Yeah, he's the number 3.
Ooh,
who'd you have?
Giannis?
No.
I think Tatum is beastly though. Tatum's got he's leading in points.
Who wins
per
an
game.
Who wins an MVP first? St. Louis's own Jason Tatum or Dallas's own Luka Doncic?
Tatum. Doncic, man, right now, Luka is hurt. I think he's hurting himself by the way he acting.
He's acting like
a prima
baby.
donna.
Yeah, he's acting like a baby.
True prima donna right now.
So, but tonight's pick, who you got? Because I'll tell
You
you,
were Chi-Town or who?
I tell you right now, we were way off yesterday. We picked the Heat, and the Lakers won. I didn't want the Lakers to win, but we picked the Heat. They got beat up.
Yeah,
they got
Gave
Toronto
up like 40% offensive rebound rate.
Yeah. So the Raptors, Bulls, who you got?
I look. I like DeRozan, man.
Okay.
I like DeRozan. I like Levine. Raptors to me.
Van Fleet and
but
Barnes and Anunoby.
And Anunoby.
I mean, I think they're cool, but some reason I'm rolling.
I'm with
the
you
Bulls.
I'm with you on that. Pelicans, Thunder.
Pelicans, man, soft. Pelican. I'm going with the Thunder. I like the young Australian, down under Thunder.
Really?
Yeah, Gettins. What's his name? Gettins. The point guard wasn't.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey.
Point forward.
Love him.
Josh Giddey is what we wanted Ben Simmons to be.
Ben Simmons.
I'm gonna say that.
Done deezy.
I said that yesterday.
Ben Simmons done deezy.
I said that
He
yesterday.
out of there.
So, I agree with both of those picks.
Yeah,
I agree with both of those.
Kenny Will Hype, man, it's good to see you.
You too, bro.
You know, I hated you saw me looking like Fred Sanford out there, bro. I was trying to hide it, but it wasn't working.
I'm coming to join you, honey. I'm gonna be the one with the bad back. Nah, go put some heat on that back, bro, and put your feet up, man.
That part. Yo, man, we got to get out of here. We had a great day today. Austin, Evan Bland came on Sip, dropped a little bit of Sipology, and it was just fun. It was really fun. Sutter Heyman text line, you guys were excellent. Thanks for you guys as well. Wonderful information that you guys dropped out there on us as well. Tomorrow is a new day. It's Thursday, and you know what Thursday is. Thursday. Streaky might hang around a little bit on Thursday. I don't know for sure. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll be back tomorrow, 2 to 4. You can always find us here on the block, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We out of here. Peace.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting.